Hey, this is Sam Black. I'm on the draw with young Reanimator and Legacy. I'm going to keep this hand. Opponent leads with the Delver. I'm going to fire off a probe and see what's going on here. My opponent has Ponder, Brainstorm, 2 Forces, and a Bolt. Alright. I think I'm going to Entomb and hope he Force Wills. Alright, he let that resolve. And I have not a lot going on. I think my best option, given his counter situation, is actually just to take Bloodghast and start valuing him. I could have gone for Faithless Looting to try to find action and discard this Elishnorn, but it costs 3 mana and he can counter it. And I have another Entomb that can do that work if I want to. I think it's better to just get this going that he can't interact with his hand. It's a problem that it doesn't really race Delver, but I do have Bolt to answer Delver, which could happen at some point. And this just does something proactive early to make him respect other stuff. My opponent's play committed him to not making a land drop here, which is some upside. Or, oh no, never mind. It put a bunch of cards in his hand with Brainstorm. I'm just being ridiculous. Anyway, getting hit by Wasteland, not something I'm really concerned about with this hand. It's a pretty good draw. I'm going to lead with Tropical so that I can Brainstorm in his end step, which will only let me shuffle away 1 card, but I only really need to shuffle away the Elishnorn. I guess I could not Brainstorm and wait until I cast Young Pyromancer, but he's just going to counter Young Pyromancer, so that's not very reasonable. So I think my plan here is to Brainstorm at the end of his turn, put back Elishnorn and something, draw the something, probably, or draw the something, and then shuffle away Elishnorn. I'm actually pretty happy if he forces this. It means there's a chance I can resolve Young Pyromancer. Which seems like one of the better ways to manage to race this. Okay, I did not get him to force this, but I did draw some good things. Now the problem is, well, problem is that my life total is going to get low enough that I can't reanimate Elishnorn if I can't make it happen quickly, and he can stop it. Like, I think I have to go for Young Pyromancer, which he'll force, and then he'll hit me for most likely 6, and I'll be at 6 and I won't be able to reanimate. This doesn't tap for black, so I can't go for Entomb Reanimate this turn. Definitely don't want to pay life with this here. interesting. Interestingly, we're seeing a situation here where I'm really getting punished for the life from Probe. 2 more life would be pretty nice. I still think the card's great in this deck, but it does hurt against Delver. There's no real reason not to start off with an attack. And then I guess I could just brainstorm and dig for a lightning bolt, but I know my top card. I could fetch Badlands and then brainstorm to try to dig for a lightning bolt, but he can just counter the lightning bolt and I'm still spending the same amount of mana. So I think I just go for Young Pyromancer. That's not good for me. Still has all the Force Oils. This is just not a game I can win at this point. I guess I can reanimate Young Pyromancer and hope he can't flip this. And who knows? So let that happen. So brainstorm. Hoping to find lightning bolt. Didn't find lightning bolt. I can Cabal Therapy. I can sack this and go to 4. Cabal Therapy, Force Will to force something through next turn. And then I guess what I'm trying to find is another Entomb so that I can Entomb Dread Return and Elishnorn, and then Elishnorn the last Insectile Aberration after clearing his hand with Cabal Therapy. Something like that. I'm going to say that I don't want Force Will because I don't have the life to pay, so I'm going to take 3. And I don't think I need another fetch land because I don't have the life to pay. Bolt me. Okay, that's not going to go well. Now I'm just stone dead to this thing. I guess I might as well look at his hand now that I've cashed this. And now I'm dead. So obviously I want to be able to kill those things. Losing Archon seems like it's mostly a bad Elishnarn. So let's see what I don't want. Wondering if I want to just move away from Reanimate as a concept. He has a lot of ways to pressure my life total and counter that, and I could just, like, let's see what it looks like if I do that. Trade return isn't great, but it does, I mean, I can stack a bunch of tokens to get back a Young Pyromancer. That's like, pretty bad though, so I'd probably want to cut it. He had white, which I think means Stoneforge Mystic still, so I could just bring in Ancient Grudge. So now my deck's game plan is basically just Young Pyromancer. I'm using Entomb to get Bloodghast or Cabal Therapy. This doesn't actually feel terrible to me. I'm gonna try this. This looks good. Pretty ideal, really. Obviously, I'm waiting on Probe until Young Pyromancer's in play. Swords is fine. I mean, I can't do anything about it. So now he theoretically days Young Pyromancer. I could play around that. I think it's actually worth playing around that, given that he used the swords there. I think with this line he might play Delver, which I can Abrupt Decay, and then I can drop Young Pyromancer, Probe, Brainstorm. I guess there's no reason not to let him resolve the Ponder here. Good. Let's see what he's got. Swords, Force, True Name, Batterskull, Rest in Peace. Okay, so rewarded for cutting my Reanimator stuff, rewarded for bringing an Ancient Grudge. Gotta watch out for True Name. Oh, well, that's very awesome. Do this, make a guy. So he's letting the front half resolve, which means he can force will the back half. So I get to choose one card that I definitely get rid of. And I'm pretty sure I just want Swords, because I can force his True Name if he goes for that next turn, and he'll have to have a land and commit all of his mana, and he might have pondered a spell to the top for his Delver. So I'm going to get that. And then, oh, and he loses True Name if he wants to force anyway. So I guess I could have taken, well, yeah, this is, whatever, it doesn't matter. So sack this thing, get his True Name. And then he really doesn't have anything going on. He'll have Force Will, Batterskull, Rest in Peace in his hand. Rest in Peace basically doesn't do anything. Force Will doesn't do anything, and Batterskull's okay, he threw away the Force Will too. What is he trying to protect? Alright, whatever. You can have your Batterskull and your Rest in Peace. Maybe he's just really overvaluing Rest in Peace. I'm not even going to force it. Sure, they're out of there. It's obviously an aggressive brainstorm, but it's making a 1/1, which is why I'm doing it. Definitely don't need this anytime soon, and I guess the second Force Will is not terribly useful. But the second Force Will does mean that I'll have Force Will up if I cast this, so let's get more pressure out. I don't care about being able to fix my hand long term. He's got nothing going on, and I just want to kill him. I'd rather pitch Force to than... Yeah, I want to force pitching Force and then cast Ponder, so set it up like this. I don't want to have to ponder into a blue card to pitch, especially since I probably want to shuffle away that land. So if I bolt him in response, he goes to 10 and I have 5 power, which kills him at least one turn faster, so I'm going to do that. And then since I have a 2-turn clock either way, I don't care about countering the swords. Alright. Pretty happy with this configuration given how my opponent sideboarded, so I don't see any real reason to consider changing anything. I'm starting to understand the second tropical in the original list, since where you're bringing in the abrupt decays is against the people with wastelands, but I think that Deathrite Shaman just makes it okay. I think this hand is fine, but not great. Mostly on the strength of Lightning Bolt to keep me alive. My plan is to entomb Bloodghast and kill his pressure with bolts. Given that I have Abrupt Decay and 2 bolts, I'm not really worried about one of them getting countered, so I'm just going to fire it off. Lets this guy go. Casts Jite. Okay. I'm very glad that happened instead of him using his wasteland. I'm just going to entomb. Bloodghast. Put the fetch land to get it back into play. I have therapy, flashback therapy, but I don't really want to crack this. Can I deduce anything about his hand? I don't think he's holding days. Why would he? I guess the reason he would play Jite is if he's holding True Name Nemesis. I'm gonna put him on that. Dang. Alright, well, I'm gonna get wasted into oblivion here, but I've got pressure and he doesn't. Oh, I should flash back the therapy on the Batterskull. Maybe? I don't care about Batterskull though. Yeah, it's just not worth doing, because I don't have a land to play to return this guy. There's no reason to do it now. Alright, Bloodghast, it's all you. Ponder's fine. Just need to stop him from getting a creature into play. I think Ponder's better than Brainstorm in this situation. I might as well just cast Ponder. Okay, fine. Okay, need to find a fetch land this turn. Or draw a fetch land, I can't like search for it. That's bad. It's real bad. Right, there was no reason to make that attack. Okay, that was stupid. I'm quite dead. I guess maybe I can still win if I draw a fetch land on my next turn. Definitely do not have a lot of time. Nope. I wonder if I'm supposed to be entombing just to thin my deck. Pretty sure the answer to that is yes. I need to entomb just to thin my deck, but I don't know that I can win even if I draw perfectly. Which, I mean, I find it remarkably unlikely that I can win even if I draw perfectly. Let's put Ancient Grudge in the graveyard. Days Ponder. Okay. Oh, I should have grudged in response to the blood gas triggers that he couldn't kill the blood gas with the GT. But it looks like my opponent doesn't care. He's just gaining life. Which is close enough to right. I cannot race the True Name Nemesis. Yeah, I literally can't race the True Name Nemesis. I'm just dead.